Hi folks, welcome to another episode of NYC CNC. It's been a while since I had a video out and I'm excited to tell you guys why. Hey Will, can you say hi to everybody on YouTube? He's sleeping, sorry guys. Anyways, for those of you on Facebook, you've seen Will's had some good experience learning SolidWorks and working down here in the shop with the baby Bjorn. So more to come, but you guys are here to see some machining, so back to that. While I was sort of out for paternity leave here from the shop, one of the jobs that came in involved a lot of surface grinding. And I haven't used my new Tormach personal CNC grinder a ton yet, so I wasn't sure if I wanted to take the job on it first, but I took a look at the specs and ran a test part for the customer, and I thought, I can handle this. So sure enough, that caused me to spend a lot of time over the past few weeks running the grinder, and I'll tell you, not only have I gained a huge amount of confidence in my grinding skills, but I've kind of fallen in love with it. I'd always thought of myself as a CNC mill guy, and I love the mill, but there's something just very relaxing to me about grinding and the end result. It's very satisfying, and it's a level of precision I definitely did not appreciate prior to really owning one and diving in. I will say, even though I never ran a manual grinder, the stepper-driven Tormach thing is a big winner because, holy cow, whether it's grinding in your chuck or even just working on parts, having that thing automated is, I can't imagine doing it by hand. So today what I thought we'd do is take a little piece of 4140, and I've already been playing around with a couple of these sides, but I thought what we'd do is grind in the other two sides. Have a little fun. We'll put some Dykem on it and see if we can pick up the Dykem without actually grinding down any more of the steel. And then we'll do a finish grind here to see if we can get it to be dead nuts parallel with the two sides. So here's our work piece. We've got one side that's just mill scale, and I machined the other side down earlier. So I'll just show you. This has been machined, with parallels, and you're going to see some amount of run out here. I'm certain. So we'll get it on 15 or so. Let's zoom in for you. You can see it's a little bumpy, and these are half-thou ticks, so that's not bad. Looks like it. Most I'm seeing right now is about half a thou over. Oh, there we go. Now we're up to a thou. A thou. And so forth. So actually not too bad. But what we're going to do is we're going to grind this down, and so not only will we have a nice surface finish, but we're going to hope that that needle is dead nuts on with no run out, so that these two surfaces are parallel. Okay, spindle's been warming up here for quite a few minutes, so let's go ahead and dress our wheel. I'm going to dress a little bit on the left side of the low point. And when I've been using the machine or a particular wheel, you'll see black lines on both sides where it's been worked. So normally my rule of thumb for dressing it is to come down far enough so that those lines are gone and you've got a clean wheel. So turn off our chuck. I learned a lot from the grinding watching the Tool and Die Room guy's videos. I subscribed to his pay channel for, I think it was like 80 bucks for a lifetime membership. It's okay. I've learned a lot. He sometimes rambles, but One of the things that seems to be okay to do, which is odd to me in terms of shop safety and shop etiquette, is it seems to be okay to run your hand over like this. Point being, you have a hand near a 3,000 or 4,000 RPM wheel. Anyways, get that nice and clean, and that is important. You have no chips or debris on there, and this chuck has been ground in. And as an aside, that's why grinding is so much more precise. Aside from the fact that it's an abrasion method, unlike a CNC mill where you've got maybe a fixture plate like I do, and then a vise, and then maybe a set of parallels, and then you're clamping. This, you're using a magnetic chuck on something that's been ground in true to the spindle. So you just don't have as many variables to introduce error. So here's our part. If I've got a part where I have machined one face, I like putting that one down on the chuck because there's a better chance that it's going to be a, even if it's not necessarily a parallel surface, it's not going to have a burr or chips or dings from the mill scale. So what I'll do, again, make sure it's clean and lay it down. And you can feel, you want to make sure there's no rock or play in the part so that you've got good magnetic grip. I am still a novice, and I still am trying to be very careful to make sure I've got good purchase. So that feels good. You can tell, especially if there's a chip under there, you can feel the grit. And then what I'll also do, it's not necessary from my experience with a part this big, you'll have plenty of magnetic purchase, but you can put a 1, 2, 3 block, which will give it all the much more clamping pressure so that it can't go flying off to the side. So the way we set the travel limits on the Tormach are with these two knobs down here. And the way I do it now is, let's see here, I like that spot for my X on the left. So I'll loosen this knob and I'll just slide it over until you see the light come on right there, like so. And then I'll go just a hair to the left, and that's my X-axis on the left side. And then we'll go over here, and it's the light's on, so I'll slide it away. Like so. So now, if I hit cycle, start, stop, you can see I've got the travel X set. You do the same thing for the Y, but it's going to be very hard for me to film it because they're in a particularly, it's not actually that inconvenient, but it's hard to get a camera down here. But just two little rails, same thing, find the light, back off a hair. Okay, now let's touch off. So the way I do this is I stick my head down over here and I look to see the light as I bring the wheel down, and I leave a little bit of light. About like so. So to finish our touch off, I've got it in the straight line mode, and we've got our travel limits already set. So we'll hit start stop, and we'll start our motion. I forgot to show you the tenths indicator though. So now that we're close, we'll bring our indicator stop up. So you've got a hair preloaded, and that lets me, I always use this. I don't trust the Tormach wheel, not for any reason other than that could have backlash, whereas this is reading the actual movement of the Z head, so that doesn't lie. So we'll start coming down. I'll take, you know, half a thou at a time. And in fact, it's a good idea to start this on the edge of the part so that your first touch is in a full width pass of the wheel. I should mention too, I enjoy this, I love this. I don't, you know, I'm not a professional grinder, I'm not a professional tool and die guy. You know, I think a lot of guys who have run grinders their whole life, you're probably going to be critical of either my skills or this type of a machine. Look guys, I don't really care. I love this machine, I love what it does for me in my home shop. I've had a lot of fun with it, I've made some money off it already, running parts with it. I want to be safe and I want to learn. But it's not, you know, this isn't going to be running in a factory, you know, producing tens of thousands of parts. It's, you know, don't make it something it's not. So we just sparked off there. So I'm going to now change over to the first mode here, and we'll hit start stop, and away we go. I'm going to change the angle here so you can see what the results a little better. So we've gotten to one side. I'll take a half a thou more here. Always try to index down when you're at the edge of the travel so you're not plunging into the part, especially on a full grinding wheel pass. And I'm guessing some of you may ask, how much can you grind at a time? I can't tell you the answer to that in terms of the technical specs. Some of it will also have to do with the material and the grit of the wheel and how securely you're holding it. I will tell you that on a block of 4140 like this, and I can't actually tell you what wheel I have in there right now, well secured, I can take a thou and a half and not burn it or not have ripple or chatter marks in the tool. But the thou and a half it's a little scary to me, so I'm not sure if that's advisable or not. And again, you do not want to throw one of these parts out of the chuck. It is scary. I did do it once. And I'm embarrassed to say it wasn't because I had it poorly fixtured. It was because I forgot to turn the magnet on. So do not do that. Let's fast forward through this rest of this pass here and we'll take a look. Okay. Might be a little bit hard to see. We have some residual pocket marks on the edge here. Those won't hurt anything because they're obviously below the surface, but this is ground, or it's certainly ground enough for me to now flip it. And the one thing I have now gotten comfortable with is, assuming that you don't have dirt and debris in here, you can flip this part and you will be able to keep grinding at the same height and then lower it down. In other words, you don't have to retouch off. You do have to be careful though. If your part is has an edge or a burr or the debris, you have to be careful because you don't want to end up taking a 5 or 10 thou first pass. Now I forgot. Normally what I do is make a little Sharpie line on here so that we know where we were. In fact, I'll do that in case we end up taking this part off again. Let's see if we're in the right spot though. Okay, that's fine. I'm checking my Y limits here. That's fine. Come back and check this X off the part though. Okay, yeah, that's gonna be fine. Yep, okay. So you have to start within the, you can't have your dots red, so you got to come within the travel limit like so. And now we'll hit the start button, and my guess is we will not really see any sparks. We'll have to come down a thou before we get any actual grinding. Okay, this will be the first pass where it contacts. Yep, no sparks. But I'll come down half a thou on my indicator, and we'll get, there we go, a few sparks. We'll take a full thou once we get off to the edge of the part here. We can actually move the head down 1,000. Okay, here we go. There's some sparks. Fast forward here till you can actually see the part. Now on the camera's viewfinder, it looks like there are little lines running along the x-axis. You'll see when we take this part off that it actually has a great surface finish. It may not be the same as a 5,000 pound grinder, but it's really smooth, and when we put it on the indicator, you'll see it's real steady. So I'm actually happy with that. But before we take it off, like I said, let's have fun here. Let's see what happens if we can pick up the Dykem fluid without grinding down the metal. So obviously we'll know the Dykem's gone if the part loses the red, and we'll know if we're grinding if we see any sparks. Now we may see a couple of minor sparks, but you'll know that you know the difference now from watching of whether you're actually grinding or whether it's just a spark here and there. Okay, gave the Dykem a second to dry. Come into our travel range. Okay, light is off. I haven't moved the head down at all, and just so you see, oops. See here, we've got some, I got some glare. There you can see we're 1, 2, 3, 4 ticks past the 5 on our tenths indicator. So again, 5 to 6 is a full 1,000. So these are each 10,000 ticks. So we won't move it yet, and we'll run a pass and see what happens. Okay, so it's not picking anything up. That's okay. I'll hit stop. We'll travel back to the beginning here off the part. And then let's come down. We're going to come down to 1/10,000th of an inch. Just like so. Okay, no Dykem, no sparks. Actually, I can just see it's barely interfering with the Dykem. You can see it on the left side. Whoops, the left side a little bit. Let's come down another 1/10 though. Actually, that took a little more than I thought. You can see the difference there, but I want to get that red off there. Okay. we'll fast forward here. Pretty cool. You can see the Dykem is gone, or more or less gone, and you're seeing a few sparks, but not sparks like you're actually grinding down the surface much. So again, nothing other than fun and to show off a whole different level of precision. And it's really cool. I really fallen in love with again, the precision and the surface finish and just having fun with this. The parts I was making for that customer were adjustable parallels, and so you finished machining the parallel, you assembled it, locked it down, and then ground the two surfaces parallel to each other. And man, they just had a great feel to them and really made me appreciate this. So we'll let that spark out, I guess, which is finish this pass, and then let's hop over to the service plate and see if she's in tolerance here and dead on. And actually, just to show you that we weren't really grinding, if we take another 10, we should start to see some real sparks. Much more. Not a ton, but a lot more. There you go. So again, I think it's pretty cool that you can come and pick up and lift off 1/10,000th of an inch of Dykem or surface material. And just to prove we weren't cheating, that's still going. And you can see, sorry, the lighting makes it tricky, but we ground at 6 and 5 and 6. Sorry, we ground at the 5.5 mark, and then the 6 mark to get the Dykem up, and then I just took another thou or 10,000th right now to show you the sparks. Okay, so that's done. The other thing I learned very quickly is, you don't turn your wheel off until you're done, because when you turn your wheel off, you redress it. So we're done for now, so you can go ahead and kill that. Turn our magnet off like so. And again, I'll get in here some better lighting, but I love this thing. Anyways, let's see if it actually, here we go, there's better lighting. Now let's see if how she reads though on the test indicator. I've got the indicator angled a little bit away to help with the glare so you can read it. So let's preload a little though. I'll preload it to 15 here, so hopefully you can see if it does move on you. Okay, we're just a tick past 15. Should be able to see it in the camera fine though. And these are half thou ticks, but you can see no movement whatsoever. How cool is that, guys? Steady as a rock. If you move it quickly, you can see it is not perfect. There's some millionths of inch of run out of some kind, but pretty awesome. So that's my experience with grinding so far. Really happy, really love it. Something I need to work on now is taking things like knife blanks or other thinner parts that have some flex in it and grinding out the flex. That's a little bit trickier to do. Working with big hunks of metal like this, you don't have to deal with warpage from the chuck. So much more to learn, but thought you guys would enjoy that. And as always, appreciate your comments and sharing it or liking the video with a thumbs up. Otherwise, folks, I will see you soon. Take care.